So this week on Twitter, they had a hashtag trending called Comics That Made Us Cry. It's pretty much comic stories or moments that brought tears to your eyes. I had my own entry, and that was the issue of Batman number 687. This was fresh off of the Battle for the Cowl storyline leading into Batman Reborn. If you haven't read it so far, it's when Dick Grayson, formerly Nightwing, took on the mantle of Batman, and Damian Wayne officially became Robin. It was in this book where Superman and Wonder Woman went to the Batcave to pay their respects, to, I guess, check on everyone. And Superman asks Alfred if he's okay. And Alfred says, "Am I okay? No, I'm not okay. My son just died." Aww. And the look on his face in those panels had such sadness and grief that it was enough to make a grown man cry. And I mean this grown man. So check that hashtag out if you haven't done so already. I would love to know what yours is. If you had a moment in comics that made you cry, tweet that out or just leave it here in my comments. I would love to know what you guys thought. Blurs and nerds, freaks and geeks, this is DYSG, episode 11. Welcome once again to Do You Speak Geek? I am your host, Nix, and this is episode 11 of Do You Speak Geek? Once again, thank you to everyone who listened to the previous episodes and also to all new subscribers and new followers. You can check out this show as well as others on Spreaker.com. That is the host site of Do You Speak Geek? You can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and also Spotify. Follow us on social medias. You can hit us up on Facebook at DYSG Media, on Twitter at _ Do You Speak Geek, and Instagram at Do You Speak Geek. You can go to the YouTube page for Do You Speak Geek. That is where you can find the Daddy and Dono show as well as other videos from DYSG. Hit that like, subscribe, Hulk smash that bell for all notifications and leave your comments. We love the comments here, folks. Patreon is still live. $1 a month is all we're pledging. That's where you can find exclusive content from the show. The social medias are going to be something special in the weeks to come. But let's go ahead and get into that anyway. So about this time, what do? Let's speak geek. So as I said, the social medias are going to be special this coming up week. As you all know, E3 begins on Sunday, and social media is where Do You Speak Geek will be giving you guys up to the moment coverage. The social medias, as I mentioned before, you can follow those. If you aren't following now, please, this will be a good week to start following so you guys can keep up with what's going on the social medias. The social medias, like I said, will be giving you up-to-date coverage and up-to-date information of what's going on at E3. So, I also will most likely do a wrap-up or review episode of everything at E3. As a matter of fact, I think I will do that. So there's going to be an exclusive episode come at some point this week, or maybe even the following weekend. So you'll get your regular DYSG episode, plus you'll get everything that I cover from E3. Let's jump into Source Wall. So this week from the DC pull list, we have Deceased #2. This is coming straight from DCComics.com. Deceased 2. Millions are dying every minute. Heroes and villains alike are falling. Can the Justice League unite to find a way to stop the spread of death? Can they save humanity from extinction? Can they even save themselves? The key to survival may hinge on the last moments of the world's finest heroes. I've already read this one, folks, and I tell you right now, that guy, Tom Taylor, is doing some amazing stuff with this book. It's pretty close to home with the way we as people in society behave nowadays, if you will. So check that one out. Also, we've got Batman #72, The Fall and the Fallen Part 3. Is this the end of Gotham City? Bane's army of villains are taking over the city, and Batman's back is against the wall. With all the things Bane has done to him over the last year, from breaking up his wedding to trying to assassinate Nightwing, and then invading Batman's mind to expose his most terrible fears. Could this be the worst hate the Caped Crusader has ever encountered? We shall see. Lastly, we have Justice League #25. The 6th Dimension storyline wraps up in this oversized issue as Superman faces down the World Forager to save the Justice League. Can Superman withstand the might of a being that can create worlds from nothing? Plus, with the Justice League away, Mr. Mxyzptlk has been wreaking havoc. Can anyone on Earth stand up to the 5th dimensional menace? We shall see. From Marvel, we have War of the Realms #5. This is Midgard's last stand. Malekith's army gets a whole new crop of recruits, the Dead. As Midgard transforms under the rule of Malekith and his allies, the Dead rise up to form a new Niflheim. The Black Panther calls in every hero on his roster to fight for Earth, from Spider-Man and the Spider of Hell to Ghost Rider and Balder the Brave. But if there's any hope for the 10 realms, it will come from the skies. Also, we have Felicia Hardy, the Black Cat, #1. She's back in her own book. The Black Cat is back and starring in her first ever ongoing series. Felicia Hardy has a taste for the finer things in life and a certain set of skills, shout out to Liam Neeson, that can get her into any mansion, vault, or museum to procure said finer things. But due to her actions in Amazing Spider-Man, Felicia is not only on the run from the police, but also by the New York Thieves Guild and her boss, Odessa Drake. In this premiere issue, find out a secret from Cat's past and a bonus story that sets a foundation for the future. It's an all-new book, Marvel Meow, short story by Niall Fuji. So that's all I've got by way of comics, y'all. Let's watch this. Alright, so we got a lot of news on the watch this here, y'all. Netflix announces Magic the Gathering anime series with the Russo brothers. According to new details about the series, Anthony and Joe Russo will executive produce the series. In a newly released statement, the pair show how excited they are to work on the series and confirm they're lifelong fans of Magic the Gathering as well. So that's pretty cool, the fact that the Russo brothers, who are known for their incredible Marvel movies, jumping on this venture. As for who will oversee the animated series, Octopi has been tasked with the job. Todd McCurth, Eric Cauldron, and Dave Newberg will produce the series alongside other executive producers like Mike LaCroix and Isaac Krause. Henry Gilroy from Star Wars Rebels and Star Wars The Clone Wars, and Jose Molina, who did The Tick and Agent Carter, have been pinned to write the script. Also in Netflix news, we have a new Jurassic World animated series called Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. The action-adventure series will be set within the same timeline as the 2015's feature film franchise reboot Jurassic World, and hails from Universal Pictures and Steven Spielberg's Amblin Entertainment. The plot centers on a group of 6 teenagers chosen for a once-in-a-lifetime experience at a new adventure camp on the opposite side of the Isla Nublar, sorry. But when dinosaurs wreak havoc across the island, the campers are stranded. Unable to reach the outside world, they'll need to go from strangers to friends to family if they're going to survive. Now, also in the Watch This News, we have a new trailer, Rambo Last Blood. We have a trailer and a release date. Now, with the recent release of a trailer and the announcements and seeing the clips from the new Terminator film, and now we got a new Rambo film, it's feeling like it's 1988 all over again. But Rambo Last Blood, let's hope so. Rambo Last Blood will hit theaters on September 20th. It is 37 years after the series launched with First Blood. The story centers around John Rambo crossing into Mexico and taking on a violent cartel when the daughter of one of his friends is kidnapped. The movie also stars Paz Vega, Sergio Perez Manchetta, and Yvette Monreal. Adrian Goldberg is directing from a screenplay written by Stallone and Matthew Serlinick. But we'll see what happens. Now, this news here really came out of nowhere like an RKO. Swamp Thing has been canceled by DC Universe. Yeah, I know. Now, while reviews for DC Universe Swamp Thing have been quite positive, and me myself included, I mean, I watched the first episode, and this show was amazing. I mean, I personally enjoyed it more than both Titans and Doom Patrol. However, the series has reportedly been canceled after only one episode has aired. The initial report came from GWW, which claims the decision is the result of Warner Media and AT&T executives not liking several things about the show. That includes not liking the creative direction, the performances, or the budget. Now, that last bit there, I believe that's what it is. Cast and crew were reportedly alerted last night about the decision. I don't understand it. I feel like DC Comics wants to work against itself when it comes to anything outside of source material. Whether it's TV, whether it's movies. The best things they have going for them in DC's wheelhouse, I believe, are their comics and their animated movies. I'll tell anyone, DC's animated movies and Marvel's live action movies are pretty much, to me, neck and neck. That's how I feel. In other news, the Uncharted movie. Now, you all know me. If you know me personally, you know I got a soft spot for Uncharted and Nathan Drake. The movie has a release date set for 2020. After years in developmental hell, the Uncharted movie will finally be coming to theaters next year. Sony Pictures announced a holiday release date Thursday for the action-adventure film based on the Naughty Dog video game franchise, which has Spider-Man actor Tom Holland set to play a younger version of fortune hunter Nathan Drake. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Uncharted opens in North American theaters on December 18th, 2020. That release date pits the film against Steven Spielberg's remake of West Side Story and the untitled sequel to Coming to America. I really, really, really hope Mr. Holland does Nathan Drake justice. He's one of my favorite video game characters of all time. My son will tell you as well, he loves Nathan Drake. He loves his moves. The video game play is amazing. So I really, really, really hope that for the first time, we have an amazing movie based off of a video game. We also have a new Dragon Ball Super film in development. Recently, Japan saw its Blu-ray and DVD release of Dragon Ball Super Broly go live. It was there fans picked up a booklet housed in Blu-ray, including an interview with Aikyo Ayoku. The director of the Dragon Ball unit with Shushia. A partial image of the bonus interview has been shared to social media, and it was there Ayoku said preparations are being made for a brand new film. Now, if any of you guys saw Super Broly, it was, to me, the best Dragon Ball anime movie ever. Fight me, I don't care. But it was amazing. I hope the next one lives up or even succeeds Super Broly. All right, let's get into some gaming news. Let's talk Thumb Life. Now, Google Stadia release date and price has been revealed. As it would, Google revealed the release date and price for the Stadia content during its first ever Connect. Unfortunately, there's no word of a specific release date. The platform will launch in 14 countries this November, including North America. As for the price, it will launch in the form of a Founders Edition starter kit at the price point of $129.99. This comes with a controller and other goodies, including Destiny 2. If you just want access to the service, you'll need to fork over a $9.99 a month starting in April. Then, in earlier 2020, the platform will be rolled out to everyone for free. This version will miss certain perks, such as the ability to stream in 4K. So we'll see what happens. I may give Stadia a try. I'm a Google guy, so we'll see what happens there. Apple TV will soon support Xbox One and PS4 controllers. Apple is planning to support Xbox One and PS4 controllers on its Apple TV devices. The controllers will be supported as part of a new TV OS update and will bring true controller support to the Apple TV. This controller support will arrive just as Apple plans to launch its new Apple Arcade service across all of its devices. Apple Arcade is a game subscription service that curates more than 100 new and exclusive games that will run on the iPhone, iPad, Mac, and Apple TV. I'm looking forward to that. I have PS4 myself, so it's going to feel kind of weird to see what that feels like as far as how the gameplay will go, the connectivity. But with Apple, I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. Sources for Blizzard, they canceled StarCraft, the first-person shooter, to focus on Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2. Now, with that cancellation, it's been in development for the last 2 years, according to 3 people familiar with the goings-on in the studio. I guess they'll be nameless at this point. The main reason, Blizzard told staff, was to put more resources into the Diablo and Overwatch franchises. This is more news here. The project, which was codenamed Ares, was described as like Battlefield in the StarCraft universe by one of those people, all of whom spoke anonymously because they were not authorized to talk about the project. The team had built prototypes in which the player as a Terran Marine could gun down Zerg aliens, and there were plans to experiment with playable Zergs as well. Although one person who saw builds of the game last year quoted, "It seemed like development progress was slow." A second one said, "A massive shock when Blizzard canceled it a couple of weeks ago." And a third person said it was looking quite good. So we got some mixed stories there, but we'll follow along and see how that goes. Of course, this isn't the first time Blizzard has canceled a StarCraft shooter. The infamous StarCraft Ghost, a third-person shooter stealth game that would star the Terran Ghost Nova, went through several developer changes and public delays after its 2002 announcement before it was finally axed in 2006. I really hope they get it together, because a lot of people have been waiting for this, and, you just don't do the fans that way. That's just how I feel about it personally. Speaking of E3 previously, E3 2019, seeing as how Sony is skipping E3 this year, they have announced a big sale. The PlayStation Days of Play sale. Deals on PS4 Pro, PS4 Slim, PS Plus, and big games. The announcement was saying how now, from this point here as you're listening, up until June 17th, you'll find the best discounts on all hardware, games, peripherals, and subscriptions. There is also limited edition themed PlayStation 4 Slim consoles that make its debut and will likely discontinue shortly after the event. Standout deals that I noticed that I liked personally: you got a 12-month PlayStation Plus subscription for $39.99, which was discounted to $40 from $60. PlayStation DualShock 4 controllers are $39.99, which are originally $60. This is the big one to me. The PlayStation Classic Retro Gaming Console. Now, as you know, that came out. It's about 20 titles on there, which was $100. The sale, $29.99.
Oh my God!
Yes. So from $100 to just $30, go get one if you can. But I'm guessing it's going to be sold out by the time you hear this. Thrustmaster has the T300 RS GT racing wheel for an odd price of $230.11, which was originally $400. Classic titles like God of War are only $20. Spider-Man's only $20. And you also have Horizon Zero Dawn, the complete edition, only $10. $10 from $40. And there are hundreds and hundreds of other titles that are on sale. So please, if you want to get your gaming collection up this week for PlayStation, now's the time to do it. Let's speak technically if we can. Now, technically speaking, we have to bid adieu or lay to rest to iTunes. At the Worldwide Developers Conference, Apple revealed that it will be winding down the iconic music platform after 18 years of music downloads, storage, and streaming in favor of its newer apps, Apple Music, Apple TV, and Apple Podcasts. Shout out to Apple Podcasts. It's little wonder that Apple is shutting down iTunes after all these years. As of 2019, 50 million people use Apple Music. That may be a lot less than the 75 million subscribers on Spotify Premium. Shout out to Spotify. But for a service that's only been around for 3 years, that's impressive. It also makes sense that iTunes visual content is moving over to a dedicated Apple TV area. The Apple TV Plus streaming platform is set to rival competitors like Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, and the yet-to-be-released Disney Plus. However, the closure of iTunes could prove problematic for iPhone users, as Apple's smartphone uses iTunes to manage backups and store data. Where this function will be moved to remains unclear. Still, it's a smart move considering how bloated iTunes has become in recent years as the data backbone for iPhones and iPads. Its original purpose as a place to listen to and store music has been all but forgotten, especially with the rise of streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple's own Apple Music. I mean, to me, it makes sense for them to do this. I mean, it's kind of like a flip-flop, if you want to call it that. Whereas, I mean, if you look at retail, you have these niche-specific stores where they specialize in hardware, they specialize in beds and linens, and they specialize in grocery, and some specialize in toys. And then stores like Walmart and Target come around where, hey, you can get it all right here. That's kind of what iTunes was, where there's a one-stop shop to get everything. But I think what their strategy is here now, they're separating their entities to make each entity stronger in its own right, which I like and respect that. Let's get into some other news. Now, in other news, Funimation has recently acquired Manga Entertainment. Funimation has just gotten a little larger after the company managed to acquire Manga Entertainment. When the acquisition is complete, Manga Entertainment will become the largest anime distributor in the UK and Ireland where DVDs and Blu-rays are concerned. There's a list of content available now on Funimation after the acquisition. You've got A Certain Magical Index, you have Akira, Bayonet, Bloody Fate, Kishern Sins, Ghost in the Shell, Innocence, Soul Eater Not, Summer Wars, Sword Art Online, The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, and Wolf Children. So, for all you anime fans out there, this is going to be pretty awesome here. It's going to be pretty beneficial to you as well, too. Also, we have a new Wonder Woman 1984 poster that gives us a look at Diana's stunning armor. It seems Diana Prince is going to war next summer when Wonder Woman 1984 hits theaters. A new poster debuted by director Patty Jenkins shows the DC superheroine in a gleaming set of armor seemingly inspired by a famous comic book run. As you all know, that comic book was Kingdom Come, a short but impactful 90s miniseries by Mark Waid and Alex Ross. To me, one of my absolute favorite, if not my number one, no, not my number one favorite, but it is easily in my top 5 of DC stories. Director Patty Jenkins tweets, "By now you've heard Warner Brothers isn't going to Hall H this year." By that, she means that they're going to skip Hall H at San Diego Comic-Con. "We're so sad to miss you there and waiting until December to start our official #WW84 campaign in full. But the truth is, we can just barely wait." And that's where you see the poster. I like it. It looks amazing. I wonder if it'll come into play at the end of the movie or throughout the entirety of the movie. But we shall see. Also, Disney announces its D23 2019 schedule. Now, San Diego Comic-Con may be only a month away, but fans of the Walt Disney Company and its properties will want to pay attention to a convention arriving in August. The D23 Expo will be held in Anaheim, California from August 23rd to 25th and will feature presentations about all of the biggest things happening for Disney, both on the screen and in the park. So, as the schedule goes, on Friday, August 23rd, the Disney Legends Awards ceremony will take place at 10:30 a.m. A ceremony hosted by Disney Chairman CEO Bob Iger will once again honor those visionaries and artists who have made significant contributions to the Disney legacy. This year's recipients are Wing Chow, Robert Downey Jr., Jon Favreau, James Earl Jones, Bette Midler, Kenny Ortega, Barnett Ricci, Robin Roberts, Diane Sawyer, Ming-Na Wen, and Hans Zimmerman. On Friday afternoon at 3:30, the highly anticipated streaming service Disney Plus will give guests a first look at some of its original content, including Lady and the Tramp, The Mandalorian, High School Musical, the series, and many more during this star-studded presentation. Now on Saturday, Walt Disney Studios will present a behind-the-scenes look at its blockbuster collection of upcoming films, and fans will get to see what's on the drawing board for the acclaimed filmmakers at Walt Disney Animated Studios and Pixar Animation Studios, and get a peek at the exciting slate of live-action projects from Disney to Marvel to Star Wars. As always, attendees will be treated to exclusive footage, guest appearances, and more. Now, personally, I would be there just for Saturday to see what Marvel has cooking up, but that's just me. And to wrap things up on Sunday, step into the magical world of Disney parks, experiences, and products with Chairman Bob Chapek to find out what's new and what's next for resorts around the globe, including more about the transformational plans for Epcot at Walt Disney World Resort in Florida. D23 is going to be awesome. I think Comic-Con for San Diego is going to be awesome as well. E3 is going to be awesome. This is the Geek Summer, y'all. We are in the thick of it. And with that said, DYSG, we are out of time and we are out of here. So, as usual, thank you for listening. Follow us on social medias, Facebook at DYSG Media, Twitter at _DoYouSpeakGeek, Instagram at DoYouSpeakGeek. Follow these pages because we will be bringing you E3 content all week long, people. And also be ready for the wrap-up episode as well coming soon. Spreaker.com, the host site. Go there, subscribe to the podcast, like the podcast. Also, go to the YouTube channel where you can see episodes of the Daddy and Donald Show and other videos as well. Like the videos, hit that subscribe button, smash the bell for all notifications, and leave your comments. Let us know what you thought. As always, I am Nix. This is DYSG. I speak geek. Do you speak geek?